Hi, wonderful people. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Keep subscribing and invite your friends to be part of this growing family. Today, I'm just going to do a video that is going to be a bit educative to us, and it will help us to understand some few elements about life. Are you having a bad day? Most of the times, we are faced with bad days, and we wake up with feelings of giving up, of throwing in the towel, of feeling as if things are not going to work in accordance to our planning. We reach a point, and every day you need to understand that it is a lesson that if things are not going to work the way you had planned them, but at least you have learned something new. You'll be equipped with skills to be able to face the day with confidence. Sometimes you come up with plans about life issues, but at the end of it all, you realize whatever you had put in place is not working the way maybe you were anticipating it to work out. But when it fails to work out, just thank God and get to know that God is still preparing you for the best, because tomorrow is a new day and a new opportunity to improve on your life. Now, if you find yourself having a bad day, I'm here to give us some few points on how we can be able to deal with a bad day, because all of us usually have bad days. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes you are not happy. Sometimes you are discouraged, sometimes you feel like giving up on life and something like that. So I'm just going to give us some few points that are going to help us on how to deal with bad days. One of the key things that you need to understand that no one promised life would be perfect. No one promised life will be perfect. You see, we have the tendency of being perfectionists. In life, things will not be perfect. Things will not work the way they were planned to be. Sometimes there will be adjustments. If you look for perfection, you will never be contented. All right? If you look for perfection, you'll never be contented. So don't condition your happiness on conditions. Don't condition your happiness on expectations, because sometimes you can have an expectation that things are going to work in accordance to your favor, but it fails. Even if it fails, tell yourself, I'm going to try again. I'm not going to throw in the towel. I'm going to give a new shot on that job. I'm going to give a new try on the thing that I was thinking it's gonna work, because goals are not met overnight. All right, do not become a person who is just like a microwave. You want things to happen ASAP. Some of the things you must be willing to tell yourself, I'm going to wait. All right. Number two, success does not happen overnight. Success does not happen overnight. So on this one, you'll have to practice the power of waiting. The power of waiting. And in this waiting, it's all about the process. Many things that you see, they are a product of a process. It's a process. It's not something that happened within a day. You see people having a good marriage. They have worked for that marriage. You see people having a reputable business. They have not worked for that business within a day. It is something that they have toiled for. It's something that they were going late nights, they were early mornings. I mean, all those things. It's an investment. So you must be willing to go through the process and tell yourself, even if I have a bad day, I'm going to believe and I know that my success will come, because no success can come overnight. So you must be willing to trust the process. You must be willing to trust the process. Now, number three, which is very important, that there is a lesson in every struggle. The moment you tell yourself that even in the struggles that I'm going through today, I know that there is a lesson that I'm going to learn. And this is very important, because we expect things to work in our own ways. Even in that failure, there is a lesson that you have learned. All right. Sometimes you have to fail in business so that you can understand what failure is. When people talk about success, you'll also be knowing what to fail means. Sometimes you go through some very heartbreaking moments in life, not because God wants to break you down, but He wants you to have a taste of what it feels to lack, so that the moment you lack, you'll be knowing how it feels to lack. Do you get my point? So there is a lesson in every struggle. And in that struggle, you don't have now to demonize yourself and feel as if you have wronged God and if you're not operating within the right parameters. You only need to see the good in that bad. And if we can reach a point of seeing the good in every bad, then it improves our lives for better. It makes us to learn. It makes us to grow. And in every situation, we get to appreciate that despite of all the things that might be happening in our lives, that there is a good that will come out of that bad situation. Number 4, hard times helps you appreciate the good. Hard times helps you appreciate the good. Despite of having that bad day, get to understand that even in that bad days, that there is some goodness that has been happening in your life. All right? Because despite of all the things that are happening, despite of all the challenges that you might be going through, but you can see that there is a silver lining, and God allows you. Maybe, for example, I'm talking of a bad day. Maybe, for example, you are traveling to some place and you got an accident. So you are like, why me? But before asking yourself, why me? All right? Ask yourself, what about those ones who have been crippled? What about those ones who have even died? They don't even have the moral authority to question God concerning the situation that they are in. So we need to be appreciating all the situations. So in these bad days, you'll be able to appreciate the good times that you had. And the moment you'll be able to recognize and appreciate that it was not meant to be good for you, but God just made it to be good for you. So it will now help you to be more thankful. You'll be more grateful even for that bad, because you'll be able to see some goodness in it. So you will also be able to understand that failure is just an event. Failure is just an event, and it's not supposed to define you. It is not supposed to define who you are. It is just supposed to make you know that you have a capacity of becoming the best version that God created you to be. The next point, it is okay to cry. It is okay to cry. In those bad days, just cry. You see, one of the benefits of crying, you release the negative energy. You release the negativity, the negative emotions. You release them from your heart. You release them from your spirit. And you tell yourself, despite of the failures, despite of all the bad things are surrounding me, I'm just going to allow myself to be. All right? So you allow yourself to be in that situation. Just release anything that can hold you back, that can make you feel that you are not qualified to be in this position. You're not qualified to be in this state, in this condition. So just cry your heart out. And it's not wrong to cry. Just cry yourself out and tell yourself, I'm going to bounce back again. I'm going to be stronger, bigger, and better. The next point, worry makes you suffer twice. Worry makes you suffer twice. You see, in many instances, things will come that will make you to worry. Even the Holy Bible, the Holy Book, it's telling us, do not worry about tomorrow, all right? Because it has its enough problems and troubles. So you only need to be still. You don't have to worry about things that are happening, that have not happened. Just be yourself. Even in that bad day, maybe you're just worrying, you are like, what if this will happen? What if things will not happen the way I had planned them? One of the key things in this state that you need to acknowledge and to live with is that God's plan cannot be changed concerning your life. So worrying will not change anything. But the moment you just stabilize yourself, you stabilize your emotions and feelings, and you tell yourself, I'm going to be still and operate on what God is doing in my life. I'm just going to focus on what God is doing in my life. Because even in that state, being alive is just a gift from God. The last point, which is very important for you who is having a bad day, there is always something to be grateful for. The last point, there is always something to be grateful for. In that bad day, you are feeling that things are not working the way you had anticipated. Remember, there was a time you had no meal, God provided for you. Remember, there was a time you were trusting God to make a way, He made a way for you. Remember, you have a lot of things to thank God for. Being alive is an enough reason to thank God for. having good health, because there are people who are fighting for their lives. So the moment you find yourself in a bad day and the devil wants to create doubts in your mind, wants you to feel as if you have been forgotten, remember the great things, remember many things that God has done in your life that you can only be grateful for, that you can only take some time and tell God, God, for this far, I'm grateful. God, for the things that you have done in my life, I'm so much grateful. Are you having a bad day? Just focus on the greatness of God. Just focus on the great things that God has done for you, and you will realize that you have every reason to be grateful for. You will realize that you have a good life, that you can only be able to celebrate and sing songs of praises to the Most High. May God bless you. Keep subscribing to this YouTube channel. You can share it with your friends, and may God bless you. May God do you good. Shalom, shalom, shalom.